My husband left me during pregnancy complications to marry his ex who has cancer because she wants to die as his wife, not his ex. He said our baby could wait but she couldn't. When I went into early labor alone, he texted can't come, at the wedding. I delivered our premature son by myself while he was saying vows to another woman. I'm Rachel, 29, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had the perfect marriage with my husband David, 32. We've been together for 4 years, married for 2, and we're expecting our first child, a son we'd already named Oliver. I'm currently 34 weeks pregnant, and this pregnancy has been classified as high risk due to placenta previa, which means I've been on modified bed rest and need constant monitoring. David and I met 5 years ago through mutual friends. He was kind, attentive, and seemed genuinely excited about starting a family together. He talked about being a father constantly, helped me set up the nursery, and went to every doctor's appointment. I thought we were building something beautiful together. What I didn't know was that his ex-girlfriend from college, Melissa, had been battling stage 4 pancreatic cancer for the past 8 months. David never mentioned her illness to me. I knew about Melissa. They'd dated for 3 years in college and remained friends afterward, but David always described their relationship as ancient history and assured me I had nothing to worry about. The first sign something was wrong came 3 weeks ago when David started getting phone calls at odd hours. He'd step outside to take them, speaking in hushed tones. When I asked about it, he said it was work stuff or family drama. I trusted him completely, so I didn't push. Then, 2 weeks ago, David came home from what he'd said was a business trip looking completely shattered. He sat on our bed and just stared at the wall for an hour. When I asked what was wrong, he finally broke down. Melissa is dying, he said, tears streaming down his face. She has maybe 2 weeks left, 3 at most. The doctors say there's nothing more they can do. I felt terrible for her and for him. Despite their history, I knew David cared about Melissa as a friend. I rubbed his back and told him I was sorry, that if he needed to visit her or support her family, I understood. She asked me to come see her, he said quietly. Just to say goodbye. Of course, I said. You should go. I'll be fine here. David left the next morning to drive to Melissa's hometown, about 4 hours away. He said he'd be back that evening. But evening came and went with no word from him. He finally called around midnight. I'm going to stay another day, he said. She's really bad, Rachel. Worse than I thought. Her family needs support. I was a little confused. David barely knew Melissa's family, but I didn't want to be selfish when someone was dying. Okay, I said. Just keep me updated. But one day turned into 3, then 5. David would call sporadically, always with updates about how Melissa was declining and how much his support meant to her family. He started missing my doctor's appointments, which he'd never done before. David, I had the ultrasound today, I said during one of our calls. Oliver's growth is a little behind, and Dr. Martinez wants to see us both next week. That's great, honey, he said distractedly. Listen, I need to go. Melissa's having a really hard day. Did you hear what I said about Oliver? Yeah, everything's fine. I'll be home soon. But he wasn't home soon. A week passed, then another. David would call every few days with updates about Melissa's condition, but he seemed completely disconnected from what was happening with our pregnancy. When I had a scare with bleeding and had to go to the emergency room alone, I called him in tears. David, I'm at the hospital. I was bleeding and Dr. Martinez wants to keep me overnight.